welcome to another project bike here at Whiskey Throttle Media. We've got our 2024 Suzuki RMZ 250, and this bike is not very much changed on it for the past little while, but this year, if you do buy one of these new, it comes with a graphics kit and a Pro Circuit exhaust front to back. Pretty sweet, actually. You know, adding that exhaust system into it, and it makes it pretty easy to start if you're trying to build this into something racy. Gives you a good starting point already. So we got our test rider here, Bruce Murata, big part of our program here at Whiskey Throttle Media, and Bruce ran this thing through its paces today. We did the intro on this a while back, so it's been a little bit of time building it up, but let's talk about what you did to this thing.
Yeah, so we kept it very just a mild build, and that's kind of like, I mean, no disrespect to Suzuki, but they are, for the price point, it's kind of on that lower end. So we kind of wanted to keep the build very mild. So we kept it simple. We got the suspension done by factory connection, which made a huge difference. I mean, that really helped the performance of this bike.
And I would say the one point on these Suzukis that really needs to be addressed is the suspension. Just doesn't have a good valving setup in it stock. It doesn't work that great, if we're being really honest. So factory connection, though, has a really good setup for these.
Yeah, they really do. And I was very impressed from riding it before it was all done, and just the balance that the bike felt. Everything just settled really nice. So yeah, I was very impressed on what factory connection did to the suspension setup on this bike.
Yeah, and watching you come down the hills today, and that little chatter, that high-speed stuff where it could get nervous.
Right.
Man, just so stable and predictable looking.
Yeah, and just really builds up your confidence too when you ride. Just knowing that the bike's going to be, going where you want it to go. So
we didn't do anything to the motor, left it bone stock. We're kind of trying to, if you're buying one of these, you might be a guy who, rides on the weekends, maybe some local races here and there, but you're not trying to race at a very high level, and you want to do something affordable. And you can pick these up at a pretty good deal. And like I said, this already comes with a Pro Circuit exhaust. So all we did was had MotorMedic do the mapping on it for us to kind of tie it into that exhaust system. Just cleaned it up a little bit. And I mean, you tell me, but it looked and sounded good.
Yeah, it did. I mean, John over there at MotorMedic Racing, he did a tune to it with the mapping. And yeah, it felt really good. I mean, and for me, I'm usually a 450 rider. So jumping on the 250, it's always going to obviously feel a little bit slower for me. But man, I was able to rev this thing to the moon today.
Yeah, that's what you're saying. You had to kind of wind it up a bit.
Yeah. So for the 250, I mean, man, it was fun.
Yeah. And the Suzuki's always turn really well. They're comfortable.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I've always liked about the Suzuki is like how narrow they are. Yeah. They're nimble. They turn really easily. It felt like I could just kind of put the bike where I wanted it to go.
Yeah.
So,
well, there was a few things that we did to this that are more aesthetic, but really, we don't want to just give a stock bike with suspension on here. That's not going to be that interesting. So we did go to TCR and have them coat our hubs, and it's a pretty cool process that they go through there. It's the stock hoop and spokes, but it's just they put a coating on the hub. I don't know exactly what he called it.
Yeah, so what it is they actually do a chemical treatment on it. So it's not necessarily a coating. They actually grind it down. And what I'll try to do is in the comments, I'll try to throw a link to TCR, a description of what they do to it, but it makes it like 3 times stronger, the hub, from what they do to it.
That's what he said. It actually strengthened the hub, which is pretty cool. So it isn't just a spray on like Cerakote, it's just a spray on.
Yeah, exactly.
This is different process, but very cool looking, magnesium look. We got a Pro X chain and sprocket, a lot of works connection, the motor plugs, bar clamps, brake caps here, all really nice. ASV levers, and then SKDA did the graphics, and this is one of our original Whiskey Throttle show graphics. It's 3 or 4 years old now, but you can do it in different colors, and I like the look of this thing. Seat Concepts built the cover to go along with it. And man, Dunlop tires. We got some MX-34s on here.
Yep.
And that's really it. We didn't do a whole lot else. The frame tape.
Yep.
You want to talk about those guys?
Yeah, so huge thanks for Corey Barbie over there for hooking us up with the anchor tape. It's just really nice to have that extra grip, especially when you're controlling the bike with your legs here. He's got this stuff on the side here as well. Just makes you just really lock in the bike with your legs. So yeah, I mean, it helps out a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I do like that stuff. To me, especially when the bike gets wet, if you hit mud or you're in rain, the aluminum of the frame can be slippery when it's wet. This stuff gives you at least a little more grip.
Yeah. Also want to do a huge shout out for ETS Fuels. The gas that we ran in this thing today, I feel with the tune that we had, man, it ran really clean.
Yeah. Yeah, there are fuels, and there's multiple different styles that you can get depending on what your goals are. You just want it to burn clean, run a little sharper, or do you want to make a lot more horsepower? They've got everything in between there, so whatever you need. And that's really it, man. There's not a ton of parts on this. We tried to keep it very simple so that if you're at home and trying to get ideas or want to kind of hear how it works with just some mapping and exhaust and suspension, it's good. It's a great bike. It's great handling. Watching you corner this thing, man, maybe I get really sad I can't ride yet. But you made it look like a lot of fun. And like I said, the handling is everything. I don't care if you're on a 250 or 450. I think it gets more critical the bigger bike you get. But just being able to be planted and confident completely changes your riding experience.
Yeah, no, absolutely, Ping. And at the end of the day, we're having a blast on this.
Yeah.
So,
well, huge thanks to Suzuki for giving us this media unit to play around with. We're going to get some time on this, maybe some local racing. So you might see it around some more. If you guys have a Suzuki, man, I can't recommend these parts and products enough. Really came out nice and works great. So stoked for all of these pieces to come together this way. So thank you to all of them. Thank you guys for watching. If you like what you see, like, subscribe, comment, share with your buddies. And appreciate you guys supporting us and following us. We'll see you on the next one. If you like this video, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos, comment what you thought, and share it with your friends.